Hi everyone, and welcome to Kazza'S Corner, the place where you will find the keys to unlocking what is holding you back from achieving your dreams. Have you ever had one of those days that started off really well and it was fabulous and it ended off not quite as you expected? Well, I had one of those on Friday. Everything was fantastic. My plane was on time. I got to the airport with plenty of time and the weather was pretty cool. And on the way home, they decided, as we were coming into Melbourne, that the heavens were going to open up and the turbulent weather was going to be unbelievable. So the guy sitting next to me, he's scratching around looking for his sick bag. The PA had come over, letting everybody know that we're going to have this turbulent weather, and I'm thinking, oh, all I need is that to happen next to me. That I don't do so well when somebody's dry reaching. Anyway, good thing he didn't need it. It was pretty bumpy and it was pretty turbulent. Now, this time round, I decided to take my purse out of my bag because I was sitting in the jump seat. And you can't have your bag underneath you. So I picked it up, I popped it up into the locker and had my tiny little purse and I had it in my pocket. So I wanted to buy some water. And I kept checking that it was in my pocket because it's quite a narrow pocket and I was making sure it was in there. Well, as we arrived in, the weather just turned horrendous and I was on Jetstar. Had to go downstairs, run across the tarmac. And of course my suitcase was right up the back because when I arrived in, I couldn't put my suitcase above my seat. So we had to struggle down, shove it in further back this way. So I'm waiting for my suitcase to come along. I said, oh, excuse me, can I have my suitcase? And so they shovel it across. It was quite funny. So I've got my suitcase, I've popped it down, popped up the handle, and at that point I didn't check my pocket. So I didn't check it from when I stood up. Anyway, the door's open and the rain's tumulturing in and everybody's going, oh my goodness. And the poor hosties are thinking they've got to run across this. So we sort of get ourselves up. Now, normally I would go down the stairs one at a time because I've got a suitcase. Not this time. I went down, suitcase in hand, and for the first time in I don't know how long, I ran across the tarmac. Finally, got out of the rain. I'm soaking wet. And I'm calling the cabbie who I know quite well. And Harry said, I'm going to meet you out at Terminal 4. I said, oh, that's fantastic. So I'm still not checking my pocket because it's not normally in my pocket. And I get into the cab. I'm soaking wet. Hi, Harry, how are you? I'm strapping everything and so relaxed. And by the time I sort of pulled out my wallet, because I have a taxi card, it was the first time I realised it wasn't in my pocket. And my heart started to race. And I'm thinking, oh my God, it's only a very small wallet and it's got $280 in. I never have cash, but this one did, and 2 debit cards, which these days you can just go tap, tap, tap. My license, my Medicare, you name it, was all in this tiny little purse about this big. And I'm thinking, oh my God, it's gone. And then I went, stop, Karen, just cancel your debit cards. Then ring Jetstar, because that for me was the most important thing, just to cancel the debit cards just in case. Make sure somebody didn't pick them up and then decide to throw the wallet or whatever. So that's what I did. Then I rang Jetstar and they said to me, oh, that's fantastic. Okay, fine, we'll let you know. I said, look, it's probably on the seat, but if it's in the airport, well, I'll put it out to the universe that it's going to come back. She said, oh, we'll ring you back once we check the plane. I didn't hear from them for about 2 hours, and it took me an hour and a half to get home because the temperature, the weather was so lousy coming into Melbourne. Anyway, about 2 hours after I got home from the travel, and it was probably, I think, about 9 p.m. at night, I got a phone call. Now, during that time, I kept saying to myself, there are good people in this world, there are good people in this world. Stay calm, you will get your wallet back. And Harry, my driver, was so kind to give me $50 because I had no cash with me. And, I only know him through driving, and how lovely was that? So that got me out of strife. He also fixed up my cab ride, and I didn't have to pay until I got home through my banking. Again, he only knows me through the cab ride, which is, we've done a few trips together. So I thought that was amazing too, and thank you for, there are wonderful people in this world. So getting back to my story. I get the phone call and they've got my wallet. Not only have they got my wallet, it's got all the money in it as well. How great's that? So when you fully believe and immerse in the belief and put out to the universe that good will happen, because I stopped beating myself up. I thought, Karen, stop it. Take on board what you would normally do. Okay, you lost your wallet. Deal with it. Now think positively that you will get it back. And so I did get it back. And why am I telling you this? Because sometimes you all think that it's really hard to put that positive thought back in. But if you stop, breathe, and then rethink the thought and put out a positive idea, not only does it make you feel better up here and in here, but it also takes away that stress. So when you actually deal with the problem, because I had lost it, I accepted I had lost it, I'd taken actions to prevent it from getting any worse, and I'd put in steps to get the cards replaced. I put stops on one, the other one to be replaced. So for that, I went, okay, I've dealt with that. We'll deal with, anything that comes after that. And the cash, I got back. However, I had resigned myself to the fact if I didn't get the cash back, that was okay as well. So I realised that I'm no longer angry with me for being stupid, for sticking it in my pocket. I made a mistake. I accepted the mistake. And what did I learn from that? I won't do that again. So when we learn from our mistakes, it really does help. And so today, what I'd like you to take away from this is that if you do make a mistake, if something does stuff up, don't beat yourself up relentlessly, because it doesn't serve you any purpose. All it does is make you feel lousy. And once it's done, I couldn't get my wallet back that way by beating myself up. It wasn't going to change the fact I'd lost my wallet. And then the other good news was when they said they'd found it, I would have to come to the airport to pick it up. However, fortunately for me, I've got a wonderful friend that's flying in tonight, and she's able to pick it up for me. So there we go. A little bit of, inconvenience for me because I cancelled a taxi card, so it's cost me $16. I get my wallet back, and I've got my sanity back, and I'm happy that I stopped beating myself up, because I realised within, I think it was about 10 seconds, stop that crap. If you can't smile about it, because I could just imagine, I started picturing myself running across the tarmac, and I've not done that. So that made me laugh, because I haven't done that forever. And my soaking wet hair, and I was looking in the mirror thinking, oh my God, you must look a sight, Karen. So all I can say to you is, again, don't beat yourself up when you make a mistake. Learn from it. I will never stick that little purse in a pocket ever again. It will go in the front of my bag where it belongs. And on that note, remember to share your smile with someone new or someone you love every day, and it might just change the way they feel. Cheerio.